Hi, I'm glad you got in touch with me. Yes, I offer free help to anybody that wants it for a concern or a problem or just to talk to. A lot of people have a hard time finding somebody to talk to in this world that doesn't care about anything but the person they're talking to. Well, that's me. I only do this because I want to help. Now, I may be able to help you, I may not be able to help you, but in your case, I think I can. A lot of times people get stuck in a little rut. They can only see things from the perspective that they have. I do perspective counseling, and one of the things I do is I offer somebody a perspective that they don't have, and they can just consider it. Now I'm going to offer you one. Okay. So this is Paul Roberts, Conscious Counseling 101. And this is going to be a generic video that others can also benefit from. So we'll talk about the concerns that have been mentioned. But these concerns are concerns that many people might have concerns about. And so I'm going to just talk openly. Okay. So we have a person that finds himself lying and trying to find ways to get around things by using lies. And sometimes they get caught, or they wish they didn't do that, or whatever. And they want to know, how can I just get control of myself and stop this? How can I stop this way of being? How can I find a more effective way of dealing with things and not have this be the way anymore? So let's start off with this example. Now, you've heard with gambling, the casino or the house always wins. Well, they don't always win. Sometimes you get ahead, right? But it's hard. It's hard to get ahead. Well, the way that you're doing things, you could possibly get ahead. So in your mind, you think to yourself, if I'd gotten away with this new perspective would have opened up for me. These new opportunities would have opened up for me. Oh, that'll lead to this. And then if I get away with this, then I'll have all this realm of new paths I can travel on. And you keep thinking, yes, this makes sense because this is a small thing and I'll get away with it. It's not a big deal. And then I'll have more opportunity in the future. But you've got to realize that if you take that approach, what you're doing is you're taking all the things in the world that you don't know the outcome of, or you don't have any knowledge of, and just with the little bit that you've got in your little box, you're trying to make this big chance that you're going to overcome all these unseen factors. And you're probably not. In the end, all the variables of the world are going to come down on you harder than you're able to fight back. So I took a look at your page and I saw that you had some really nice, sensitive, you're a beautiful young lady with a sensitive heart, and you've got these things that you've shown some insights that you have, and what you've done is, in this hostile, difficult world that we live in, where you can't count on people to be there for you, to be your friend, to just be there for you like I'm trying to be now, you say, well, what am I going to do to counteract all that? And a lot of times what you do is you put on armor. You put on armor of all kinds. You weigh yourself down. You're sensitive inside for a while. Hopefully nothing will get through the armor and cause you to be less. Damage your inner spirit, your ability to love, your ability to find joy in the world and hope. You're only 27, you've got your whole life ahead of you. I don't care what your financial position is, I don't care what your marital position is, you've got your whole life in front of you. So what do you need to do? You need to realize that taking on this whole great big thing with armor or your cunning or whatever it is going to most likely not work for you. Most likely not, because the odds are stacked against you. Some people that are also trying to do the same things even set up traps for you to fall into. If you get caught or found out, oh, now they can't trust you. Now you're in a lower place. How are you going to work yourself up from that place? You thought you were going to go to a higher place and more paths were going to open up for you, but no, you got in a lower place instead. The odds are that that's going to be the outcome you always get. Just like when you go in a casino, the odds are that you're not going to get ahead on the next move. But you keep saying, well, if I do enough, or I get lucky, or whatever, I will get ahead. Yeah, but that's if you're desperate, that's the only way you can do it. That your mind tells you, I have no other choice. I've got to. And you're hopeful, and your sensitive heart thinks, I'm a good person. Fate will shine on me. But what happens is, chances are that the misnomers that you've come to understand in your mind and heart won't lead you to a quality place. The idea that fate's going to shine on you like a ray of light from a cloud or from the sky, it's going to bust through the clouds, is most likely not the case, because if you see, this is a very difficult world. People are very jaded. They're very hostile to one another. A lot of times whenever anybody does anything, it's only to get something in return. This is one of the reasons why I make sure I do not charge. So you know there's no way I'm going to get anything out of this. I'm only here to help. Now, you're wondering, okay, that's good. Okay, I see where you're coming from. I know I'm in a place. That's why I called you in the first place. What do I do? Because you're so young, and because you've got a good heart, and because you're a beautiful young lady, and you're capable of feelings and love and hope and joy and happiness, but you see the onslaught, I'm going to suggest to you to take a different path. And when you do take this different path, all the things that you initially wrote about, lying and all those types of ways, will just melt away. They'll just melt away. So now just focus on what I'm saying. You are your best asset. You, young lady, who is full of youth and vitality and loveliness, are your best asset. So all the things you want to do are to build that up. You don't want to go and have battles with the world and your circumstances. You don't want to go and put your energies in that, where that can beat you down and have you cause, oh, next time, well, I'm going to go into it with a shield. I didn't have one last time, but this time I'll go into a shield. No matter what your armor looks like, you're most likely not going to do well. You're going to become more and more stressed, more and more in a difficult situation, subscribe more and more to vices, have your money and means and thought processes go to things that aren't helping you. If you continue the line of the way you're at, could be with lies, could be with theft, could be with anything that's a negative. So what I'm going to say to you, and I'll talk to you on this as long as you want, but I'm going to make this first video short, is I want you to start seeing yourself as your most valuable asset. I have done this in my personal life, so I'm sharing from a place where I know. I operate in this way. You are your most valuable asset. If you build yourself up and become something more, sometimes initially, you won't get the sudden urge to feel like, I'm going to get ahead if I do this. And you won't find yourself saying, I could have gotten over that trap if I just didn't fall into it. Sometimes you will see a few of those things initially that you thought, I could have gotten around that a different way. Why am I going to stick totally to this my best asset building me up thing? And you're going to want to slip and slide back. But because you're young and because you're you can succeed in this way if you go forward, making everything about building yourself up. Okay? No one can take away what you give to yourself. No one. If you try to get something in some other way, they can take it away. You can do in silence the building of yourself with no one realizing it until all of a sudden you rise above all the circumstances you're in. And then they'll start to take notice. Don't go around with a big head and let them know what you're doing. Do it inside, being the same person you are, going to the same job. Whatever you're doing on a daily basis, keep doing it. But now what you're doing inside yourself is you're practicing perspective counseling to build yourself to a higher level. And others in your life eventually will take notice of it. First, you'll take notice of it. First, you'll say, I'm doing this instead of this. And as I said, eventually, you might say it right off the bat. You might say, yeah, but I could have gotten it easy that way. But you'll know, no, I'm going for the higher, loftier goal because I'm going to make myself everything I can be. It's going to be all about me, and it's going to be all working within the inside based on just perspective. And no one will know that you're not the old person that you were the day before. Sure, if you made some mistakes and people don't trust you, they'll still carry that feeling for a while. But you'll know you're breaking through it. You'll know that you're becoming someone new. You'll know that you're building who you are from inside, and no one can take that away. So what you're going to do is, you're going to say, I know you said you didn't have any religious beliefs or anything like that. Well, the beauty of this is, even if you don't have religious beliefs, they still have you. The things that work for people that believe all different ways are natural to the universe. They're of light. We could talk about what you put labels on that later on. We don't have to. So I'm just going to approach you in a secular way, just a simple way of you can become more through walking a path where you become more. You you rise to a higher level, and those around you will start to see you from that higher level. And all the people that are just not worthy of you, that aren't ascending, you can choose to help boost them up and lift them as you go. Or if you deem them not worthy because you've seen them for what they are, because you've gained the power to see them for what they are, because you've come to see yourself for what you are, and you have risen, you now possess the ability to see things for what they are. Not dodging around, figuring out how you're going to hide or do your next thing. You're all about consciousness. Now, you have all the power. You've risen to heightened consciousness. You're more aware. You're not succumbing to vices and little grab at things and how you can get around things. You've risen to a higher plane that you're solid on. You can now say to yourself, I have gone above all the things in my life. I now have the choice. Should I let them fall away and walk towards the better life I've produced for myself, the better possibilities I've produced for myself as I keep going down this path? Or should I say, no, I love this. I love this. I like these things. Or pick and choose. You need to come a little ways before you're worthy, but I'm going to pick you up and help you now. You were nothing but a drag and a user. I'm going to let you go. You don't have to make a point of telling them that you're going to let them go. You just make them angry. They won't understand. But if you see something that's nothing but a drag, don't have it be a part of your life. Unless there's a redeemable quality, you can bring them up with your new heightened conscious that you're going to be creating, and I'll help you talk you through this. I'm talking generically right now. I can help talk you through the ways you can do in particular things. What if this happens? What about this? I've got this unique circumstance in my life. What should I do if this happens? I can talk you through those things if you want me to. I'd be glad to talk to you. But just know, generically, what I'm talking about will work if you implement it. This will help you to eventually, and you'll have to have some discipline, you'll eventually see that you'll rise to a higher level, where not only will you accomplish more in your life than these other means, because the house won't be stacked against you, you'll also start to see, oh, the problems that I thought I had, I didn't even have. They weren't even problems. You'll start to see what the real problems in life are. And when you do that, you'll be the master of your own destiny. You won't rely or be codependent on any other things or people. You'll realize that all the things you need, you'll have the ability to fathom, and eventually, with discipline and conscious counseling, that you can do yourself, by the way, you don't even need me, if you get on the right road, you'll be able to bring to yourself. When you bring those things to yourself, you'll rise. You just simply will. You'll become more aware of all the things that are currently holding you. Now I'll ask you, if you're going to do this, if you understand what I'm saying right now, I'll ask you to do it fully. If you don't understand, we'll talk more. You can't do a little of this and a little of that, a little bit of this and a little bit of that, okay? Because what you'll do is you'll spend up all your time figuring, oh, why didn't this go right? And you'll architect a new scheme. Next time it will. That's where you'll put all your conscious thought that you should be applying to building yourself up to being a better person. To being, and I'm not saying you're not a good person. What I'm saying is a better person in the sense that you have more to draw upon. You have more resources. You can sort out the bad pool of ideas and bring in the good pool of ideas that you've not even found yet. You can start relying on things that are guaranteed producers of results instead of things that might if everything works out just right. You can beat the house by walking out of the house. Conscious Counseling 101. I'm Paul Roberts. Perspective counseling helps to make this happen by making the person aware of it first, having them consider it. Consider it for a while, write back to me, say, okay, I get it, or sounds like it might have something, but I don't get it fully. Can you tell me, what about this, what about this, what about this? I can talk to particular circumstances, but once you get it, this is the thing, not only do I not charge anything, once you get it, you won't even need me. I literally give away the keys to the kingdom as quickly as I can because I'm only here to help. So once you get this, you won't even need me. But if it takes a few more talks to start to understand it, I'd be glad to be there for you. This is Paul Roberts, Conscious Counseling 101. Let me know what you thought. Let me know what's still troubling you. Let me know circumstances. We'll talk individually. Let me know what you've heard and what you've gotten, and we'll go from there. I wish you well until I hear from you.